The silent system controlling how society functions today. We often think of society as something visible. A collection of people, roles, traditions, and institutions. But what truly shapes human behavior rarely appears on the surface. There exists a silent, invisible system guiding everything we do. A system not written in law, not spoken out loud, yet deeply rooted in how we think, choose, behave, and even in what we believe is normal. This system doesn't force. It doesn't threaten. It guides us quietly, shaping the world far more than we realize. Today, we'll go deep into how the silent system works, how it forms our decisions, how it restricts our freedom without us noticing, and how a person can break free from its invisible grip. The illusion of independent choice. Most people live with a comforting belief that they think independently. But psychology and behavioral science show us a different picture. Up to jips of our daily decisions are not individual choices. They are reactions to expectations, to norms, to pressure, to comfort, to fear of judgment, and to the desire to belong. Human beings are profoundly social creatures. Our brains evolved not for independence, but for survival in groups. The silent system uses this biology. It doesn't need to say anything directly. It simply nudges us toward whatever the group calls normal. Where the silent system begins. It begins long before we can speak. A baby cries differently, depending on how adults respond. A child learns which emotions are acceptable and which ones must be hidden. Every family, every school, every culture creates its own unspoken rules. No one explains these rules verbally. You just learn to follow them. Psychologists call this implicit social conditioning. A set of invisible rules, absorbed through tone, facial expressions, punishment, praise, and the reactions of others. By adulthood, these rules feel like common sense, even when they're irrational. Conformity, the core mechanism. Solomonescu's experiment showed how easily a group can override logic, even when a person sees the truth with their own eyes. The moment the group disagrees, the mind begins to doubt itself. Conformity is not stupidity. It is survival. For thousands of years, being rejected by a group meant danger, starvation, or death. So the brain still treats social rejection as a life-threatening risk. This is why we obey silently. We are wired to stay inside the group. The pressure of normality. The silent system has one main goal: keep people predictable. Predictable people are easier to control, manage, organize, and integrate into society. Normality is a psychological cage that people willingly walk into. We are encouraged to behave not too loudly, not too differently, not too authentically, not too uniquely, but appropriately. This is why adults often hear, act your age. Be realistic. Don't embarrass yourself. Grow up. Be normal. Normality is not freedom. Normality is a guideline written by the silent system. Social norms, the invisible law book. Unlike real laws, social norms have no official text, no signature, no enforcement agency. And yet, they control society more efficiently than any government. Consider how people must live. Study, work, marry, home, children, stability. Try doing something else, and watch how quickly judgment appears. Social norms define how to dress, how to speak, what success is, what happiness should look like, what goals are acceptable, and which dreams are too unrealistic. These rules feel natural only because we grew up with them. Manipulation, the soft weapon of society. Modern manipulation is subtle. Social media constantly reminds you that you are behind, that others live better, look better, travel more, You earn more. Achieve more. It creates dissatisfaction. That pushes you into the system's expectations. Marketing uses insecurity to guide your desires. Fear of missing out. Fear of failing. Fear of not being enough. This fear is not natural. It is manufactured by the silent system. The role architecture, society's script writer. From childhood, people receive roles without anyone assigning them verbally. Roles like the responsible one, the emotional one, the strong one, the quiet one, the smart one, the troublemaker. These roles shape identity. People begin to act according to the role given to them, even if it restricts their real potential. Breaking out of a role feels like betrayal, not just of the system, but of yourself. That is how deep the silent system reaches. Why we obey without noticing. We obey because obedience feels safe. It gives us belonging. It gives us predictability. It gives us identity. People repeat opinions they never questioned. They follow rules they never examined. They pursue goals that are not theirs. This is not weakness. It is conditioning. Once upon a time, in a quiet forest, there lived a kind mother goat with her 7 little kids. One day, before going to the forest to find food, she said, "My children, while I'm away, don't open the door to strangers." Not long after she left, someone knocked on the door. "Children, it's your mother," said the wolf's rough voice. But the kids shouted, "Your voice sounds different. You're not our mother." The wolf walked around the forest, thinking. Then he drank some honey to soften his voice and came back sounding gentle. "My dear children, it's me, your mother." "Open the door," he said softly. This time, the kids were fooled and opened the door. The wolf rushed inside and swallowed 6 of them. But the smallest one hid inside the tall clock and stayed safe. When Mother Goat came home and saw what happened, she cried bitterly. She found the wolf sleeping under a tree and struck his belly with her sharp horns. His stomach burst open, and the 6 little goats crawled out one by one. They hugged their mother tightly, jumped with joy, and never opened the door to strangers again.